Yeah, on a Friday night. Oh, what better than to kick off with what Du Hast would have sounded like back in the 80s? All right. Everyone's dying, apparently. I love it. Welcome to a special Friday night edition. We are officially kicking off your weekend ride. Oh, and why is that, Adversaricon?
Because today's the official release of Ulcerate's newest album, Cutting the Throat of God. And I love that fucking title right off the fucking bat. Fuck yeah.
And not only did I do all the research on this fucking thing, but I also read some lyrics. And they are tasty because I've heard from different interviewers what they think the album is about. And I think they're missing the similarities between the occult and just people of today in general. So, yeah. Oh, that's great. Good evening, first of all, Aaron, Cody, Rebecca, Mouse Bong in the house, Yabelka. Who else am I missing? What the? I'm like missing people here. Okay. So, yeah. As a matter of fact, Mouse Bong said she had seen one of those for Tool's Sober, and it was gold, where they turned the song into an 80s tune, like if it had come out in the 80s. I love little spoofs like that. Oh, man, Kyler, I'm so sorry. It's okay to be sober tonight. It's fine. But you're going to get a good old fucking dose of metal, good metal, and unholy shit metal at that. So don't worry about that. Let's Mousebong says the Reddit metal pussies are so mad about this album title. Well, you know, they can either suck my right or left nut or go get fucked. I don't care which, because they're fucking stupid. Yes, now that we got that out of the way, we're going to give you our wonderful synopsis of this record. But of course, you know, before we get started, it's definitely time to take a quick commercial break to our brothers over at Poison Valley Clothing. Check that shit out. Allahu Akbar. never gets old for this guy because I cannot wait to do the remake. And some good news for Ab Saracon there. My bassist just got back in town from New Orleans, and we've been talking all day about the coming together of us three to get to work on Human the Hoof Beast, the live version. So can't beat that with a fucking stick. Yes, Damon, or Damon as he is referred to, is very anxious to get started. So that's very cool. But of course, go over to Poison Valley Clothing and check out all the cool custom horror art on these fantastic shirts. I'm telling you, any idea you got, he'll make it, he'll print it, fast shipping, super cheap. All right, so this is why we are here, people. Just the album cover alone is so succulent. It draws you in to a point where you just have got to listen to this thing. And to come to find out that it's literally just three dudes, man. Three awesome fucking musicians make up this project. I feel bad because I'm late to the game. This is their 7th fucking album. And I've heard their name through the years, but I haven't listened to anything prior. So for me, this was a super pleasant experience to know that the evolution of death metal has arrived even more so than when they first arrived on the scene. And speaking of Babylon, we have arrived. They can tickle the taint. Of course. You know, let's celebrate tonight because, I mean, this is officially Morgue Rot Entertainment Weekend. You got us tonight, and then we going to talk about tomorrow night later on. So grab a drink, hit the bong, smoke the joint. I don't give a fuck what you're doing. Eat the edible if that's the case. Whatever you want to do, man, it's Friday night. Let's have a fucking good time and talk about this monster fucking record.
Mousebong's getting after Babylon. Babylon, you better fucking listen. Mousebong's gonna kick your ass.
That's it, Babylon. Your new name is Big Sausage. All right. There we go. All right. I am going to go ahead and let my brother Avasaracon go ahead and open this up with opening statements.
Well, so this album has 7 songs. The longest song is beyond 9 minutes. I think it's about 9.5. A bunch of them.
That's about right.
And I think one is like maybe 6.5, and there's maybe 2 7s in there. But so they're longer songs. And before we get into talking about these, the last album was a stunner. It was an amazing, amazing album. And so when I listen to the two, they're very, very similar. But there is a difference. One of the biggest differences is that the drums have been mixed to where they're a little bit more clear in the mix. The mix is still chaotic. The mix is still really fast. The songs are still really fast and really quick at times. But I really like how all of the instruments stand out. The bass doesn't come out as much, but you really can feel it and hear it in there kind of supporting. I would have brought it up a little bit more in there. When you listen to this album, you're going to hear amazeballs drum fills. So what I say when I introduce the first song, it's ditto for every fucking song. Off-time drum beats, switching immediately to blast beats for a little while, to all kinds of creative fills throughout. Like, super busy drummer. Freaking amazing.
Yes and no. That's all I'm going to say, because I'm going to go case by case on each song. I don't know. It could just be my jazz training, because let's face it, folks, this is the first fucking uber jazz fusion death metal record, because that is exactly what it totally reminds me of. Very small combo, drums, bass, which, oh shit, you can even throw guitar in there too, because there is a lot of jazz fusion that has electric guitar, but not like this. That's for sure. But in certain cases, I would say, I mean, the fills are fucking phenomenal. And the only time that things get really muddy as far as the drums go is if the lead over top of the rhythm track is a little too high up in the mix, and he goes to blast, and everything kind of sounds like shh to me. But that's just to me. It's up to the individual. But his fills, they're super fucking clean. His changes, actually the entire band's fucking changes are flawless as fuck, which is why these are serious fucking musicians. I wouldn't be surprised if they came out of the college somewhere in New Zealand, because damn it, no one plays like this. Not at blackened death metal, not in death metal, period. Not to take anything away from some of the greats, but these guys, they came to play and they just destroyed everybody, in my opinion. It definitely is beyond proggy. And I fucking love every minute of it. I really do.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, Mousebong says, exactly, Reaper. It's the first thing I said when I heard the first single. Dude is a jazz master. How do you not hear it? How do you not hear or feel that influence on this record? I think it's very, very prevalent. Oh, man, I'm so sorry to hear that, Aaron. He says, I'm here chilling, just dealing with abscess tooth. Man, I feel for you. I'm sending all the positive energy your way, brother. You know you got it. He says, I have real dental tools. I'm about to take it out my damn self. Well, go with Satan, brother. Hopefully that works out good for you.
And go with Jim Beam too.
Shit, I'll drink to that.
So if you were into avant-garde metal, you will definitely hear some Deathspell Omega in here.
Oh yes.
You're going to hear some fucking Gorguts in there. You are going to hear Artificial Brain, Thantafexath, like all of these dissonant, Mithridatum, A Causal Intrusion. Like these guys might be the most polished and busy of them all. Gorguts isn't near as busy as this. Deathspell Omega is pretty busy, but I would dare say like the Paracletus Deathspell album, Deathspell Omega album is my favorite by far. But these guys, the last album and this album are so similar in many ways until we get to the last track, which I'll talk about later. So the first song up is To Flow Through Ashen Hearts. This song chimes in at 7 minutes and 7 seconds. All I'm going to say is from here out, you're going to hear percussion fill after percussion fill. Every fucking song, really good ones. This dude's so busy. And the way, in my opinion, that he transitions from blast beats into the slow or from the slow into the blast beats, his fucking fills are awesome. Reaper does this shit on a few of the songs that I have where it'll be like a really fast, like really fast, faster than that fill. And it's throughout. So you're going to hear that every fucking album. Their guitarist, what he does is he has a formula. He will play anywhere from 2 to 5 notes that are kind of slow, and then he tails it with 2 tremolo picking notes, or 3, sometimes up to 5, but normally 2 to 3 tremolo picking notes. And this is how he gets this dissonant type of play. And it's throughout if you listen for that. But what they're so amazing at every fucking song, just like jazz, is you hear the original melody, and that melody really changes and it comes back. It holds that melody, but in different ways, just like traditional jazz. Our boys in the late 50s and 60s are jazz guitarists. Grant Green, Wes Montgomery, like these fuckers, and many others.
Fucking rich. All of them. John Coltrane, shit. Any of the acid jazz era, where you have that constant rhythm going, but what starts to happen underneath it is the drummer and the other guitarist almost kind of switch and do a 3 against 4. It's very prevalent throughout this entire song and album. You're going to notice that they really feel at home constantly going offbeat while the main rhythm track is right the fuck on the entire time. And suddenly you feel the world start to shift. And it's really something.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so one thing that you're also going to hear a lot is they may have double kicks going really fast, but the snare is hitting like 120 BPM. And then the guitar might just be doing some slow jazz chord progression. But those drum beats, it kind of gives you a polyrhythm going on instrumentally. Now, I do have a criticism of Ulcerate, and like, this is an amazing album. I would rather hear it, in my opinion, I would rather hear it just the instrumental, or give me the instrumental version as well. The vocals are not bad, but the vocals to me come across as a bit generic, i.e. also, and he does change it up. He has like 3 different growls that he does, but the main one that he does is a bit of a yell, a little bit kind of metalcore-ish. And that is boring to me. I don't like that. I find it to be flat. Sorry, Mouse Bong and my Depeche Mode referenced. I'm probably in trouble. No. But I do find him a bit flat. And so, like, when we think of some of the great albums, like we think of Obituary, Slowly We Rock. But John Tardy's vocals are fucking right up there with the rest of the band. And I don't think when this guy just yells, it shows more like I'm Mr. Angry Man instead of I'm fucking Death Monster. And I want fucking Death Monster with this shit instead of the yells. So what do you say?
First, Kyler asks, should I be on shrooms while listening to this record? I think you might have the worst nightmare you'll ever have in life if you do that. I'm just saying. I am so happy to hear you say that, because I was going to rag on the vocals a bit for the first couple of tracks. Not only is the range not what I expected, but there is so much reverb on his voice. I almost feel like on this record he's relying on that a lot to push out longer screams or growls. I almost would prefer something a bit more organic with like a little bit of verb, but I want to feel it more from him, because the first thing I thought of, and I know I'm going to get shot for saying this, the guy's voice reminded me a little bit of Dimmu Borgir's voice when doing certain lower lower like to mid-range type growls, because that guy also heavily relies on a bit too much reverb to carry through. I've heard the same thing happen on Old Man's Child. So I'm like, man, no. Let's there's so much going on layering wise, especially atmospherically. When you have atmospheric dissonance, it's going to be a wishy-washy world of awesomeness. But if the vocals are a little too airy sounding, too like whoosh kind of sounding, I think it doesn't mix well with what is going on with that guitar, because we want to hear that, but we want to hear the vocalist too. I mean, there's no hope for the bass to come through super fat, because I heard it in the clean parts, and that's one of the things I was going to talk about too. Such fucking beautiful use of clean guitar in moments where it takes away from the awesome fucking distortion, but to bring it down and take away some of that tension and get you centered before they assault you again. Especially for this track, I said beautiful use of atmospheric guitar over blast beats, because that's just not something, people do. They just don't. And I love that idea. I did say, though, that the drums get lost a little bit in the mix because of how to the forefront the atmospheric leads are, because I feel like it just gets a little bit muddy. If he's doing like a single stroke roll at blinding speed, it's going to sound more like instead of those individual notes. Now, his ride cymbal, don't know what the fuck he's using yet. I'm going to find out. But that thing is so crystal fucking clear. Every time he hits that bell, you get punched in the titty or something. I don't know what, but it is fan-fucking-tastic. I love it. And then you're, even though there's all these layers going on in this track, you can still catch every rhythmic change, which is flawless. And then, of course, the excellent uses of pause. They are in the midst of doing something so tremendously fucked up and chaotic, and then come right back. I'm like, ooh, they put the brakes on for like a split second. Yes, that is definitely jazz fusion, guys. I don't know any other metal band that can pull it off that tight.
Mousebung has 3 really good, because she's listened to this album quite a bit. She has 1 at the top and then 2 at the bottom. That are
shit. There we go. But I think it complements the dark and almost chill at time riffs. Yeah, absolutely. This album is not overly aggressive. It's not. It really isn't. It's aggressive in a more ethereal way, which I really, really like.
But very sophisticated. Sophisticated. Big.
Big
clever.
time. Yeah.
Very clever. Like, that's one other thing I want to say about this album. This album is not an easy listen. This is not the, I'm sweeping the floor kind of, or you're busy with something else. Like, you've got to really sit down, put some good headphones on, and listen to this album, because there's so much going on. Like, to me, it's a whole new level of technical interest, because it's different. It's not like other bands. And so when you listen to this, like Cannibal Corpse is really traditional, but really tasty, really complicated riffs. But the way these guys hold, just like traditional jazz, the way they hold on to the melody and they transform and morph and evolve this melody throughout is so tasty. So thank you so much.
It's a constant build. I kind of feel like you're not getting the best of what's to come on this record, which is why one of the things I praise this band for is they brilliant track listing. I think if they did it any other way, it wouldn't have come across the way it did, because each song is like a movement. I kind of referred to it a little bit orchestrally. in its design, so that, you know, it's a constant build to that big magnus opus. The biggest part of the work is towards the end. And trust me, it's not to take anything away from the first ones. Babylon says, Reaper, are you still using those endorsement symbols? Of fucking course I am. They have never let me down, and I mean, they still ain't cracked. That tells me a lot, and it's never lost its brilliance either. Let's see here. Mousebong says, I feel like the first two tracks are a build-up. They fucking totally are. They didn't give us all of it. You know, so many bands like to give you blast right out of the gate. I'm going to kick you in the cooter, and, you know, you'll love no matter what comes next. I got you off on the first couple tracks. This band doesn't do that. They want to give you a Hummer first. They want to prime the shaft before you get to the moment of ecstasy.
Oh boy, if Crystal was here hearing that.
You know, she might get a little too hot under the collar. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let's move on.
Kyler, these songs would be really difficult to play as a band. Because of the different rhythms going on with the guitar and the drums. Sometimes the drums are doing a blast beat, or they're doing real fast double kicks, and then the guitar is doing something really slow. But yeah, this first song, To Flow Through the Ashen Hearts, starts off with a really beautiful, slow, atmospheric opening, and then and that's what they do. It truly is a roller coaster. Slow, 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 beautiful, slow, and then fast, dissonant, kind of chaotic shit, and then slow. So I love that. They're always giving you a different look. So that's basically what I said about this first song. You can say about pretty much all of them. I did write some different things. The second song is The Dawn is Hollow. What a cool sound title. And this song comes in at 7 minutes and 32 seconds. So once again, not a short song made for radio. It has really fast kicks that are once again separated from the pace of the guitars. I think it's brilliant, the way they do this. It's just different. It's like discovering a new exotic fruit, and you just can't get enough of it right away. And you're like, oh my God, wait till everybody knows about this. Oh, I better gobble this up, because before everybody finds out, it's going to be hard to get a hold of. It has a really nice bass underlying it in this song. I can pick that up when the clean guitars are going on, but that's only during the places where he's opening up and letting them have a little bit more space. And yeah, there's two different parts in this song where they really slow it down, and it's beautiful, and they're kind of like breathing spaces. This song's a little faster than the first one, a little bit more aggressive, but to me, I also wrote on here, amazing production on this. I love how the double kicks sound. They really are separated well in here. I like them, but they're still earthy too, to me.
Apparently, everyone enjoyed my use of the word cooter. I really meant that, because I mean, I guess I could have said my short curlies, but you know, cooter just felt better. I don't know. Babylon says, bury your face into the fruit beast. Boy. Before I give my synopsis, Mousebong says, Dawn is Hollow I found very depressive and atmospheric. Bingo! You nailed it. Reminds me a lot of Blut Ausnord in the first half of the song. I did hear those elements as well. And then it gets very melodic for the end. One of the things I can really say in this particular track is they had elements where some black metal feel rears its head, and other reviewers caught this too. Because at first I was like, I kind of feel like this is a little black metal. And am I the only one that thinks this? And then when I started checking some of the reviews, I was like, oh, okay, I wasn't the only one. Sweet. And it's in the guitar riffing, and it's prevalent in the Gravity Blast. My notes for this was right off the rip, very experimental guitar riffage. And I say that because it's not something you would expect from any genre of death metal. Is it always highly technical? Yes, but is it this fucking tasty? Not always. So, there's a reason this band is currently being hailed as like they're leading the charge in the in the death metal category, because they've turned it into something completely different. Proggy as fuck, absolutely. Okay, so this is where some people might take issue, but this is just from my point of view as a drummer. They're a little too busy in spots. I feel in this case a little bit less could have let some of the dueling guitar with the experimental leads over top with the atmosphere, I think would have let that shine through better. And it's not that I don't enjoy what he's doing. It's just there was a few sections where I was like, man, if you just pull back just a little bit, you can just let some of that just air out for a moment, let your listener really soak that riff in, and then hit them. And that's when the groove section kicked in, slightly after the clean riffing section. The groove was like so in the pocket. I'm like, death metal that grooves. Yes. Who doesn't like that? Guitar effects were a little too prominent in my opinion, but I think it was almost necessary to let that really stand out in the mix. And again, I just don't like too much of the verb that's on dude's vocals. Every single time, it's just ringing out a little too much. I wonder if he could actually do that in more of an organic setting. I think it might sound better just hearing a little bit more of like the gurgle and I don't know, because I mean it's like the effect that's being done here. It sounds like he's opening a portal to the next dimension, which I fucking love. But can you do it with less verb? I think it would have been a little bit more easier on the ears, I guess.
All right. Well, the third song is Further Opening the Wounds at 7:57. Oh, boy. We are in moist country now. Oh, moist fruit berries. Here we go. Boy, that was a hit. I'm telling you, if I think everybody here has, but if you're watching and you're not in the comment section, I recognize everybody there. They come to the goddamn program. Tomorrow night at the same time is the goddamn program. This is an 18+ show. 100%.
Yeah.
It is
kids to bed, please.
And it's very tasty, a little raunchy, a lot of cursing, a lot of fun, especially when Crystal is there, and we combine Crystal with Mousebong and Babylon. Oh my god, it's so fun. It's a very unique show.
And Sydney is definitely tearing it up. It's great having her as an addition.
So, Further Opening of the Wounds has a cram-packed opening. It's so rich, so complicated, and I love them to do this wankery because it's kind of like territorial pissing. They're saying, right, throw this fucking shit down. Let's see if you can fucking do this. So I like it to be complicated because it's real quick and it's over pretty quick. Because I'm just like, I have to listen to it over and over again with headphones and really kind of dissect it. And I love doing that. This may not be for everyone, but it's so fucking amazing. And they're really big on this song with really quick double kicks with the really slow-paced guitar riffs. Once again, here comes that theme again, coming back to it. These riffs and songwriting, when they're going slower, is more catchy and it's a little bit more simple. But I love the diving 2 or 3 notes with a tremolo picking tail that they do all the time. Oh boy, Babylon. Trifecta your kisses. LOL. Oh my.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Mousebong says, these guys are known for their time signature changes, and you really get to see it in this song. Fucking yes. And sometimes you might actually be kind of tricked too because of their use of syncopation. Syncopation is very prevalent in this track, which can make you feel like it's in another, but sometimes they're just treading the water underneath of what's going on top. I agree. The first 2 tracks are definitely preparing you for this onslaught. Excellent groove coming in to that song. I really settled in quick and was like, so fucking tasty. But it was a little hard to hear everything that the drummer was doing, because I don't know if you notice in this track, the toms are sounding extra pingy, which means kind of less attack. And it's easy to get lost in layers like that. But for the most part, if you have really good earbuds in, I think you can kind of pick out what he's throwing down there. Mm-hmm. Again, this is very much an orchestral track in the way it's constructed. Every part has a purpose. Every time change has a purpose. Constantly building. And this was the first fucking time I said that the vocals were tasty, because they took some of that verb down on his vocals. They were a little bit more raspy. And great fucking breakdown towards the end of the song. I was kind of hoping to hear something like that, because there are moments when they go from the super fucking difficult to suddenly just laying something straightforward, and when it hits real hard. Love that. So now we know it's a Friday night for sure. Yep. That's okay. I ain't gonna knock you for doing that. Weed and painkillers. All right. So everyone's flying this evening. Fantastic. Mousebong says Jaeger and Dabs from. God damn, girl, going for the Yay. You're riding the Jaeger. I mean, you can't beat that. That's some serious shit. That never mind. I don't even want to talk about 20 years ago.
That's the way she rolls. That's her drink. Jaeger and Dabs too. Like, she's not smoking blunts right now. She's smoking fucking dabs.
She's like, no, give me the high content shit. I want to feel it in the morning. Now we're getting to what is actually my absolute favorite song on this record.
You want to talk about it? You want to bring it out?
Nah, man. I love hearing your take on it as well.
All right. Song number 4 is Transfiguration, In and Out of Worlds. Yet again, I'm on the edge of my seat wanting to know what the hell this song is about. Thank you, guys. Do you want to, when do you want to, you said you had a couple of videos. Do you want to try to throw a video in?
Absolutely. I'm just responding quickly to Mousebong there. Always on ice, girl. Always keep it on ice. You got to. I ice down my bourbon because I like to be in control of my fun instead of just shooting from the hip. Yeah. So let's go ahead and if I can get that back. There we go. I just need to make sure I know exactly which one it is. Okay. And I'll know it as soon as I pop it up. So I took a sample from the beginning of this song to tell you exactly why I really enjoy it. And then we will delve into a little bit about what it's about because it's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, the drummer and I think the bassist as well had to be influenced by Chick Corea and the Electric Band because that has Dave fucking Weckl written all over it. If you're listening to that groove, that's exactly how that man would have played it. And he's still playing to this day, gray haired and all. I'm telling you, he was the master of playing an off time groove like that and just putting the snare on a hit that you would not expect it gives it a whole new dimension. That is why I got sucked into that song so fucking hard. I'm like, dude, that's my favorite.
Yeah,
That's my favorite.
I liked it a lot too. It's a much slower track, especially in the beginning.
Yep.
And it's a little brighter to me. I love the cymbal work, like you brought up that ride earlier. Boy, and I love hearing that. Like, I thought that was a great mix decision on there to have that. And there's so many fills. Like, what you heard was the intro, but this song gets going, and it's like a big battle where there's assault wave, a little bit of a rest, another assault wave throughout, like during a war. But there's a lot of tasty drum fills on here that also stand out to me.
So appropriate. His cymbal work is definitely the rock star in all of his grooves on this particular track too. I love that. Mousebong says Transfiguration super heavy, but it's actually such a chill ass song. And that's where a lot of these reviewers are going. Some people are going to say Toolish. I wouldn't say Tool. I would not even come close. I wouldn't like piss on these guys' heads by saying, oh, that's cool. It's kind of like a Tool idea. I would never say that. There's no Tool on this. Tool wish they could play this good. I know we've talked about the drums, but I love how creative he is and shows up that you don't need constant blast beats to be heavy. Yes! And that's why I feel like this Blackened Death style is going to I know they say never cross the streams, right? In this case, I feel like this is going to transcend to all who love extreme heavy music and death metal fans at heart because you get the best of all the worlds with these guys. That's why I say excellent, clean intro. The prog aspect of jazz fusion really stands out on this. And then the black metal outro is perfection at the end of this track. Unholy fuck. It's like, yeah, we gave you the pretty, now we're going to stuff you. Mouse Pong says, and I love Babylon Gummy Man. Oh, shit. Babylon says that was wretched. Yep, I also agree with this as well. Except for, it says young people hear something avant-garde and immediately think of Tool. I just think that's awful. And it's not their fault. Obviously, that's what their parents listen to, so they'll learn. Listen to all the music genres, all of them, minus a few, of course, that we fucking hate. Oh, Aaron says worked for me. I just Doc Holiday this tooth and now it's draining. So yeah, it works for me. Oh, yes. You are a trooper, sir.
Oh yeah. Well, sometimes it's worth going through a little bit more pain to get rid of the constant pain. Just like sometimes you just say, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, Babylon. I think we agree with this also. They are a gateway for most youth. I do agree with that.
Babylon's next comment. It's so true.
Oh, no. It probably is as soon as I can see it. At least they don't compare it to. Yes. Thank you. I would rather them grasp at something like that that's familiar versus that shit. Sorry. Not sorry.
Mm-hmm. All right. So track 5 comes in at 8 minutes, 23 seconds. It is called To See Death Just Once. And this song begins really fast and it's really powerful right out the gates. And then it slows down and it's really atmospheric and beautiful and clever. I mean, like everything on this album is just about pretty much clever. And also the bass lines are very basic. Like he's not doing any Geddy Lee on here, not even close. But it fills the gaps when you can hear it. Like I really think they should bring it up a little bit more. But I'm wondering if it maybe that's what they did in the previous album, and that tended to muddy it a little bit in the mix. I don't know. Could be. But
depends on the effect he's using.
Right. Yeah. If he changes his effect, then it could be a little bit more clicky and a little bit brighter.
Right.
But there's a black metal part with really fast power chords for a section, and I love it. It's a little bit of a lengthy section too, and I really like that. It slows down a lot, but this one I wrote down, maybe this is my best song on the album, and then I changed it later.
I actually, that's awesome to hear because I had changed my mind a good couple of times. It's so hard because the rest of this record from Transfiguration to the end is just fucking mind-blowing as it swells and swells and swells. Like I said, I mean, this is like the longest run-up to an orgasm that I could ever fucking imagine in a record. Okay, lots going on out there. Let's see here. Aaron says, it's nothing, Mouse, but thank you. I've had a pretty hard life at times, so I've had to be on my own dentist at times. causes the illness I have. I completely understand that. I have to agree with everybody else. Mad fucking respect for going through that shit, brother. Holy, unholy fuck at that. I get a cyst on my back every now and again, and that's no fun to drain either. But fucking hell, I don't need nobody to cut it out. If I'm going to, I'm going to light my knife on fire, and I'm going to get it nice and hot, and I'm going to dip it in some black velvet, and then let somebody else poke it. So that's the way I handle that.
Yeah, I can do stuff like that. I know how to suture. I can do all that stuff easy. I know how to look for the nav bundles, and you won't have them on the perimeter like that.
No, right. Exactly right. Not nobody let you.
We had guys when I was in the Rangers. The privates were made so they had like three strands of concertina wire, and it's usually about like 8 or 9 feet tall. They would have like 3 privates. One lays on the first one, the second one lays on top of that dude on the second one, and then the last guy lays on the third, and it squashes it, and then the entire platoon runs over your back. And so we would have concertina wire blades get stuck, and I'd have to suture them up when we got back. I got a lot of suture practice from that because the dumbasses are not supposed to move, because I did it. They made me do it too. I had to lay down and let the whole platoon run on my back. And but they
what's up, Achilles?
They wouldn't listen, and they'd move. Oh, what's up, Achilles? Achilles, you're in Scotland, I think. Maybe Scotland.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's in Scotland.
All right.
Always a pleasure to have you, brother.
But, yeah, I really like this song quite a bit. Like when I heard this song, it makes me want to go. Well, the whole album makes me want to grab my guitar and play guitar. It inspires me because it's something new. I mean, Deathspell Omega, Bluthaus Nord. There's so many bands that have already done. The Kryn out of Minnesota. That's actually a pretty good one. These guys have been doing this stuff for years, but
which is crazy. I can't believe I'm late to the game.
To me, this is the most clever and the most sophisticated. And I would love to hear it as an instrumental. Please release it as an instrumental too. I would buy it in a heartbeat.
To see Death once, I might be off the mark here, but there were moments rhythmically where I felt a bit of Funeral Doom, just a little bit, just in how slow it was. With the super atmospheric guitar over top, and then into a clean section, which is clearly 4/4. But the sick part of it is that the drummer starts going 3 against 4, and suddenly again you feel that the earth moves in a strange way, and I know that feel. I was taught that feel in college, and how something so straightforward, the moment you shift a beat or two and which drum you put it on changes the whole outcome. And it was fucking flawless. I said it was very, very magnificent.
Achilles, Edinburgh. I love Scotland. I've been there 2 times, and I went to Edinburgh. I've got a funny story about that. I was at Edinburgh Castle, and I heard somebody being really loud and really, really tacky. And of course, they're wearing blue jeans and a bright orange with navy blue Auburn War Eagle, Auburn football fan coming around this corner. And I was just like, dude, okay, you don't have to wear black when you're in Europe, but don't be the loud, ugly American. But I love Scotland. Went to the Wallace Monument. I was up in Kemnay.
Oh, have to.
Near Aberdeen. Aberdeen has a really good museum up there with some really good Francis Bacon paintings. Of course, we went up to Loch Ness. First time I was there, I was in the Glasgow side, and we were way up doing rock climbing, and it was so damn cold. And boy, it was a lot of fun there. I love Scotland. I'll take the drizzle. I mean, I love Washington State, so I'll take the drizzle. Doesn't bother me.
Right. All
Came from
right.
Greece. He came from Greece, hence the Achilles name.
Exactly right.
Next up is Undying as an Apparition. Oh, this is the one I wrote maybe is my favorite. It comes in at 9 minutes and 33 seconds. I think this is the longest song on the album. This has a lot of blast beats following the Ulcerate formula once again, but they really, really contrast slow, dissonant guitars. Fucking like it's everything they've been doing. So damn good throughout.
I believe
Mouse Bomb's going to chime in.
Oh, I was going to say I do believe I have a video example from this song. So let me see what I got here. So you guys can kind of check out a little bit of this out there in the Morgrot universe. If you haven't already caught this record, check it out. Let me check the other one real quick. Hang on. The same song. I don't know how that happened, but damn it. I thought I had one for this one. My bad. That's okay, because I mean we're leading up to the epitome of awesomeness for the last song. But what I have for Undying as an Apparition, I love, pretty much what Adversaricon said was mirroring what I said. I said I love the blasts used as a fill. This is the first time I've ever really heard a band, a drummer in a band like this, use the blast beat as a filler versus an actual straight through concept. But he only does it at first, kind of like he's giving you just a taste, like just a little bit. Like you don't know what's going to happen, and then boom, the chaos begins. Which is how I wrote that down. And then how the guitar leads are so fucking dissonant over top of it, over that feel. I don't know. It's just absolute brilliance there. And the vocals are more raw. Again, I almost wonder if this was a plan that they had. Because we're finally getting a rawer sound. So that's what I have to say for that one.
Yeah, I really, really like this song. It's a really, really good song. Yeah, but for me, it was so hard through those first 6 to pick just one, because it's a very similar formula. It's very clever. Every song is clever. None of the songs are like where I'm like, I didn't care for that one so much. Like I really dug every one of them. I listened to it last night for the last time and wrote my notes right after it was released on Spotify. Because I can pause it when I want to pause it a little bit more easily. I have a little bit more control with that I like.
I think Spotify also has a different sound as well compared to YouTube. Yeah.
Mousebong's needing a little help here.
Oh no. We're about to hit the title track. We were talking about the track right before it.
Undying as an Apparition. We just spoke about that one.
Yep.
And yep, track 6. Yep. Yeah, that song, like I also wrote about Undying as an Apparition. This song has a dark ambient layer of guitar. I think that that dark ambient guitar is a little bit darker than in some of the other songs. Really liked.
It's not a nice song. This was not meant after I read the lyrics for it. Definitely not a very nice song. It's about pain upon pain upon pain, the worst pain, and that no matter what little box that you find yourself in, you'll always succumb to the pain before there's any release. So. I love it. It's so fucking real.
All right, we are on to track number 7, which is the final track on the album. It comes in at 8 minutes, 42 seconds. See, this is kind of a long album, but it's only 7 songs. So damn tasty, though. Cutting the Throat of God, which is the title track of the album. Fucking love it. Ringing dissonant chords with medium double kicks. I love when you have fast double kicks and then sometimes the medium. It just creates a different texture for everything. And the contrasting of fat sounding chords. This is a slower. Would you say this is like the slowest song out of all of them? To me, this is the one where they slow it down the most to me.
Yes, I would definitely agree with that.
And I wrote, my gosh, the off time and the constant fills. I love it. But that's really with every song.
Yeah, and the funny part is this was the very first song where I said it's appropriate, because the fills that he's doing, he's literally filling as the guitar is filling. He is literally copying the guitar lick at the end of his riff, which, again, spoiler, very indicative of jazz fusion. Drums and keyboard and bass fill together, whether it's a quick stop at the end, but it's so fucking smooth. It's ridiculous. This is one of those times where it sounds like it's way too many notes. Like, how much can we fit into one bar? No, this is actually appropriate.
Big sounding song, really big. And I wrote epic sounding song. And I even drew an upside down. I don't know if we can speak. It's going to be too fucking bright. I even drew an upside down pentagram for this one.
Yep, I can see it.
I also wrote the kicks sound so damn good. Like, I love those kicks.
I'm sorry to hear that, Aaron. You are a fucking trooper, sir. Well, especially being in the horror business as we are. I mean, we love that shit. But I'm sure it hurts like a son of a bitch. Woo! All right. Oh, my goodness. And Mousebong actually said it took her a week to pick her favorite track, and the title track is, in fact, her favorite track. And this is where I got torn, because there's just something so amazing about that Transfiguration track. But this one is definitely, and I wrote it down as the culmination of the most epic flow of a constant build within a record. And so many reviewers have said, not sure if this is a concept. There is a constant concept in this record. Don't let anyone fucking fool you. There is an underlying concept to the record. It is literally painting a picture from its inception to its epic finish, especially with this song. I said brilliant as the last track. It's literally the culmination of the constant build. And I also said this is the most brilliant use of syncopation, along with it is the most metal track. And I think the reason I feel that way is because of the riffing. it's not so ethereal or atmospheric that it's not metal. Because I mean, at the start of this track, it's pretty straightforward, but like, you know, Adversaricon's been saying the whole time, it's fucking smart. It's just a fun, awesome way to do it. And now I finally get to roll that because I thought I had a different cut. So here we go. Check it out. I mean, that riff right there is grandiose as fuck. That's exactly how the fuck I would have played that. You got boom chicka wow da 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 dun 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 dun. You're gonna do the same thing as a drummer. I mean, it's 30-second triplets in a row. You can't fucking miss that shit. That is how it should be done. And the way they do it is so fucking clean. The riff alone, it's just, you know that this is the epic of the whole record. This is what it's all about. This is what you've been waiting for, type shit. So
I am with the Bongster. This is my favorite track as well.
It's my second. If I was allowed to have two favorites, then I would say these are my two favorites of the entire record. I just, like I said, that other one was like, oh, it took me back to 1990 when I discovered Dave Weckl. And the fact that they pulled it off and did it on a death metal record, I'd say it fucking did it better. You know what I mean? Because it's so much darker. Yes. Achilles. Oh, he says, sounds interesting. I'll listen to this album. Oh, dude, it's fucking worth it. It totally fucking is.
Sophisticated, clever, avant-garde.
Clever.
Jazz. And this is jazz. Like, but in a brutal way. It's like brutal jazz.
It's what jazz was meant to be.
So damn good.
So, after reading some of these lyrics and then putting it up against what reviewers have said about this record, I'm going to quote them first. So most of what they've been saying is that this is an album that is purely and simply about morality. And when that line is crossed, there's no way back. Now, that's a twofold statement, because if you look at it satanically, there's nothing wrong with crossing the lines of what conventional morality is. You know, I can see where they're kind of getting that, a little bit because, further opening the wounds. If you look at it from just a pure, that's the song title, it's kind of like you're only digging your grave that much more. I don't think that that's really the concept here. The concept here is very occult. It's not. I mean, if we were to put Anton's eyes on this, it would make like so much fucking sense. But more or less, this is an album of struggle to the point where you've been lied to so many fucking times that by the end of this record, you're ready to plunge the knife into the fucking asshole's head because it's just lies after lies after lies. Transfiguration is, in fact, a Luciferian slash occult term of you are becoming something more. So I don't know. There's so many different ways of looking at it. Undying as an apparition is you in your new form, and that you are all encompassing, and nothing is going to stop you. To the point of that title track right there, cutting the throat of God. So whatever somebody's view of what God is or whatever, it's the idea of eliminating the one thing that has oppressed you the most. That is my synopsis as far as to what this record is about. Some people, I want to hear other people's feedback because I've read the lyrics and there's so much pain, to flow through ashen hearts, it's like you're struggling to be the best version of you that you can be. And then, all the way to the Dawn's Hollow where it's like, watching that sun come up and go, I got to deal with this shit again. It's very depressing. Mousebong said it further back, I believe, that it's a very depressive kind of a track. And then right into furthering opening the wound. I mean, it's just more of this struggle to become, break those chains that bind you kind of thing. I don't know. What is your take on it there, Adversary Khan?
Just, I'll take it all day long. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it totally paints the picture of somebody just going through the worst pain and then finally getting back at their aggressor.
Yeah, I found the album cover to be really interesting too. Like, it kind of is like, I want to know what those crosses are in the back. It kind of looks like God Hates Us All, the Slayer album. It's the crosses with the little crosses on the sides. Yeah.
There is an underlying theme there. And I do agree with Mousebong also at the same turn. It is not a literal title. But there is that Christian oppressiveness, hence the crosses. And it could mean something different to other people because not everybody's version of God is the same. But it's there's so much pain in this record. And you look at today's world, it's like you want to, if you can track down this thing that doesn't exist, you would want to cut its throat because this is what everyone believes. You know what I mean? For the most part, not everybody. Don't get me wrong. We are in the satanic age, whether you have figured it out or not, people out there in the Morgoth universe, but we really are. That we are more invested in, we are the only ones that have to look in that mirror and say, you're a good person. So I think morality does play into this a little bit, but, I don't think it's the way that they're actually kind of, some of these reviewers are saying. But I just thought it was really interesting because if you don't look into some of the concepts that the vocalist is talking about, read the lyrics. They're there. You can find them. You just put in Ulcerate. Let's see. Actually, I could probably find it. I'll give you guys an example. I know you guys love examples, right? Like here we go, right here. So this is actually the title track. If it'll come up with this. Suffering not through veins which never bleed, but by the vicious instinct. Hope has diminished without fear or hesitance. Sever, repent, and sever the unspoken. With each obscuring of horror into the endless downward spiral, hold to the edge of loss, merciless and final verdict. At its core, it's bereft of all strength. Pain can't end. Sever, repent, and sever the unspoken. Now, what does that say to you? Oh, this is my favorite line. The execution of omnipotence, the divinity to become, the supine inflicted with one more tragedy, the apostasy of the unspoken. The unspoken is the motherfucker that doesn't exist. You can clearly see that. I think in these lyrics, it's like everyone's like, "Oh, repent, you'll be fine. Repent, you'll be forgiven. All is good." No, it's not. If you do something fucked up, you're gonna get it. You know what I mean? People are going to come for your head. And I feel this, man. I really do. And I think that's where they're pulling that morality kind of thing into the record. But they're just not looking, I think, as deep. Oh, Cody, absolutely, brother. He says, people need to realize God doesn't always mean God. It can be anything that you feel is above you, but puts you through absolute hell. And I mean, at the end of the day, Christians created hell, not us. And Mousebong says that's exactly what I get from it. Okay, fan-fucking-tastic. See? That's why I love you addicts, man. You guys are hardcore fans that can and are open.
I have a song that I'm working. I have a song that I'm working on. And it's going to be called Chasing Unicorn Farts. And really, it sounds funny, but the song will be fucking dark. Because that's what they do.
I love it, though.
They're chasing unicorn farts, something that doesn't exist. They think it's going to be a rainbow of glitter, and it's going to smell like strawberries or something. But that song's going to be fucking brutal. I just came up with that like last night or the night before. Mousebong's already heard this name. See, like I really like Sangwa Sugabog because they have titles like that. But this is fucking funny.
Right.
Like I think these fucking religious nuts are fucking funny. I want to laugh at them.
Right.
And I think chasing unicorn farts is right up their fucking alley. That's what they're doing.
Seriously. And I mean that's honestly the true oppression. It's like they kind of get it. I think they really do get it. And I think, Anton may have had something to do with it. It's like if you were to get this disease that is just uncurable, if it's a type of cancer or something that is ultimately going to destroy you, and you're going through the worst pain, and people keep telling you it's okay to let go because you're going to be in the most wonderful place ever imagined. Could you or would you not think that was the biggest line of bullshit you ever heard? Who wants to look forward to, that end? And I think that's actually very much covered in the one song, To See Death Once, because that's like the song that keeps talking about no matter what you do, pain is pain. You can't escape it. Sometimes just the pain of living, having to like fight and scratch and gnaw to, get to some better, kind of life for yourself. That's painful. Having your lights turned off, having your house taken, or the car gets repossessed. That's what true pain is. And again, people just say, oh, you got to have a firm stance with the Lord because he's going to see you through it. Oh, really? Well, then how's come he doesn't just press the button that says, okay, I released you? Get the fuck out of here, man. Who's going to gamble with their life that way? And this album, I don't know, it gives me just the fucking warm fuzzies, man. Like, yeah, this could be a true eye opener for people, in my opinion. And it's good to see that people, bands like this are so intellectually, intelligent, to kind of like tell it how it is. I love that. Mousebong says, Jesus, take the wheel. Aaron says, I got told it's all in my head when I was dying, and that I also got told maybe it's God's will to kill a 21-year-old slowly, starving him to death. God's will. That's my favorite. Let's even take that a step further and say it was a 4-year-old child. It's God's will. They wanted he wanted this child sooner. For what? Amusement? How is that the will of this so-called supreme, architect? Come on, man. It behooves me to.
Mousebong made a unicorn fart up there. It's very pretty.
Oh, that's awesome. That's amazing, and I want to see it every single time we go live.
Well, that could definitely be a T-shirt after that. After the next the album we have one about to be released, and then we're going to start working on one probably later this year. And that can be a T-shirt, of course. We could have some dumb, stupid humans like trying to stick their ass up a unicorn, something like that.
I love it. Cody says that fucker needs to melt down those streets of gold and pay some bills then. Yep, I feel that all the way. Aaron says it killed me, just didn't stick, so I made a movie starring death. I mean, that's fucking fantastic. Achilles. He says, and then they call you crazy for not believing in unicorns. Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, for sure. To quote the Crow, I feel like a little worm on a big fucking hook is how I have felt most of the time. I feel that, man. It's a fucking struggle. But in the end, it's you who gets you out. Man, I'll tell you, that whole, I know it sounds funny, mind over matter shit, our brains are stronger than we give it credit for. She's dying. I think that's a great idea. I think that definitely should be a T-shirt. We can have a lot of fun with that.
Well, Mousebong has one more idea for it.
Where's it at?
Very
Did I miss it? I thought I pulled that up already. Damn it. Is it this one? Fuck.
No, the
Is
one
that
below
one?
that. No, the next one.
Shit, I can't actually get to it. I don't know why I don't have it. I do apologize. Why don't you tell us what it is?
It says unicorn horn up the ass. We'll make it like that.
That's very appropriate.
It can be a black and white screen except for a rainbow unicorn horn.
I mean, yeah, let's do it. Oh, now it pops up. Son of a bitch.
I guess it doesn't show the very bottom one.
Yeah. I get it. Yep. Gotcha. Let's see what Cody says here. Oh, he says I don't see it either. Yeah, it has to do with the stupid live chat on YouTube. It's hard to see sometimes. So, yeah. But yes, so that is our synopsis of this fucking monumental fucking record. And I'm really glad that Adversaricon suggested we do this one. Because otherwise, like I said, I've heard the name throughout the years, but I don't know. It just didn't click because sometimes we get stuck listening to a lot of bands that are in one genre or something like that, and we miss some of them. So this really was a great introduction to this band. I can definitely tell you I will, in fact, go back and listen to especially the last record, because every reviewer said that it's hard to top that last record, although I kind of feel like they did top it even without hearing it, because this is a masterpiece. I ain't pulling blood here either.
I think the drums stand out better than the last album. The last album has a slightly more muddy production, but it's not bad. Like one review, I only saw the beginning of one review, and he started even whacking on the production of this album, and I was just like, dude. And this dude has like disappointed me. Usually I like his reviews, but he's been a real shit for the last few ones. He's pretty damn arrogant, and I'm pretty sure he's on the spectrum as to which spectrum is wonderful and fun. But he's really, really blunt, but he knows what he's doing. Being an asshole.
You know, I almost wonder if it's because he doesn't want to be seen as being, oh, this is great, this is awesome. He's got to throw a couple in there where he gets his asshole on, if you will, or he's just not a fan of what this record is doing musically. Maybe it's too chaotic for him, and he just has tiny nuts. I can't handle it. You know what I mean? So I definitely agree with Mouse Bong here. Really cool album overall. She also suggests listening to The Destroyers of All. Wow. All the way back to 2011. Man, I had my fucking head up my ass. This is crazy. Thank you for that. I'm definitely going to check that out because I need to. Because, you know, every album is a stepping stone to the greatness of the future. And me hearing this record, I was like, oh, wow. You know? Let me see here real quick. Right? Technical Kiwis. That's awesome. So, I don't know. I can tell you this out there, Morgrot Universe. This needs to be given honest to goodness play. If you are a fan of death metal, if you are a fan of proggish extreme metal, this is so up your alley all the way. It's got elements of so many different genres that every addict in the comment section or watching us right now loves one or the other. It might actually pull you in and go, damn, I can get with this, you know?
Don't forget to like and subscribe and make a comment down below too. All of those things will help us eventually get our numbers up so more people can enjoy this. Although I love our numbers right now, especially for the goddamn program, because if we get like hundreds of people in there, then we may not see the bongster or be able to keep up with the comments as well.
And I was also privy to yet another thing. Apparently, numbers are so good that Facebook wants to pay us now.
Oh, that's great.
Can you believe that shit?
That's wonderful.
So I know we're all very much enjoying the YouTube life. But just to let you know, Facebook is also just as important. So, and that's where we get the largest amount of our views. So don't be afraid to share it on Facebook as well, especially for those that maybe don't know about the show. But if you're a constant YouTuber, I want you to share this to every YouTuber that you know. Somebody that wants their shit on YouTube only. Because as you know, it's a lot fucking easier to throw us up on the big screen in your living room as opposed to your phone or your computer. By the way of YouTube, because every smart TV has YouTube loaded. And by the way, Aaron, man, yes, you did. We can honestly say that you have bled for the show. And I can't tell you how much I'm sorry, but at the same time, it means so much. Achilles says, can I suggest another record to listen? It's the latest album from Rotting Christ. Oh, I've been hearing about this. Called Pro Zistru is what I'm thinking. It's a Greek black metal band. Yep. They have been on my radar, and I am definitely going to try to hunt that down. I don't know if you're familiar, Adversaricon, but I did hear about.
I've got several new records. I've got several of their albums, and I watched a review on this album, and they've really changed things up for this album. Like, it's different. It's really kind of pulling away from their real brutal, dirty metal. But I liked what I heard. It was really good. I need to give it a chance. I just, like, when we have our shows here, like, I think I read this when they had the Cradle of Filth week. So I was busy going through discography, and sometimes it's hard for me to do like real listens on some of the bands when we're doing all this. Plus, we have jobs and all that.
Right. For sure. I don't know. For me, I've always liked Rotting Christ, so I definitely do need to give this one a listen. Oh, cool. So Achilles tells us that what it means in Greek is before Christ. Yeah, when everyone was free. I love it. Cody says, Addict's new album is amazing too. Serious King Diamond vibes. That's a bold claim, so I must investigate. That's for sure. And let's see here. Mousebong says, I'm going to check that out, Cody. Yep. You know it. The moment the king's name is mentioned, thou must listen. Man, you guys have been fucking outrageously amazeballs tonight. Hopefully the music examples we've given from this record, not only just our synopsis, but giving you some videos, because you know me, you can't fuck with this devil. I'm going to find a way for you to hear it if you haven't heard it yet. And if you spank me afterwards, I'll thank you for it. Anyway, so, man, check it out. Achilles, he says, any news from King? Yes, I speak to him next month, sir. I'll be speaking to him next month. If we can make this happen, man, I got to have myself and Adversaricon and possibly maybe a third person to be a part of that interview. Because, I mean, there's probably the biggest one in Reaper's Underground history. You know,
And we've had some big ones. There's been some big ones too.
we've had some pretty big ones. Yes, absolutely, we have. But the King,
Oh, it's awesome.
I mean, that goes back to Little Reaper in short pants. You know what I mean? Oh, Mousebog says, I worship King Diamond. As well as you should.
Well, maybe Mouse Bong. Ooh, I'd love to see her face on here. But I kind of like her being incognito too. She's so risque.
You know, speaking of risque, do we have a sexy show for you tomorrow night? It's right. I mean, put the kids to bed. Make sure you got them locked up so that you can enjoy some of the most gut-busting, taint-tickling, nipple-twisting. Anyway, just absolute fun tomorrow night. I got some amazing things that wow, this show is definitely going to be probably the raunchiest one we've done yet, because between myself, Sydney has been sending me some pretty interesting things as well as Babylon. Thank you for that. I can't unsee most of it. That we're just going to have a blast tomorrow night. So we urge you before. I don't know if you want to pregame. It seems like some of y'all start to pregame before our shows, and that's just fucking awesome. But if you want to do,
we have breaking news from Yabelka Freakus. Thank you, Yabelka. Yeah, that's so nice. Thanks for contributing. Yabelka goes to fucking metal shows all the time.
That's awesome.
She's one of our silent authorities on the program.
I have been so hard at work editing and doing video work and stuff today that how did I miss this? I must go to my page afterwards so I can tell everyone to slap me around for not saying happy birthday to the king. So I will make sure to do that. Thank you for telling me. Because, you know, life's been rather difficult lately, and sometimes we miss the most important fucking things. Damn, he's 68 today and still young as fuck. 2 albums on the way, Merciful Fate and King Diamond. Holy, unholy shitballs. It's going to be amazeballs. Wow, that's a lot of balls in one sentence. But join us tomorrow night for an action-packed, all fucking inclusive. You guys are so much as part of the show as we are. We got some games, and I got some stunners that are just going to fuck everybody's heads up. So join us tomorrow night for the goddamn program at 8 p.m. CST. And, you know, for some of our faraway folks, I'm sorry if you can't make it live. Catch the replay the next day. Guaranteed it's going to put a smile on your face and a fucking boot to the asshole that you can't stand. Oh, man. I agree, Mousebong. You know, it's like a religious experience seeing the king, and it's totally true. If you've ever caught a live show, you know what the fuck we're talking about. Most fucking definitely. Oh, wow. She said she saw him on Halloween. Oh, you're damn right you felt powerful after that one. Fucking hell. Oh, shit. Cody said he already put out a thank you post earlier for birthday wishes. Gods. Okay, I got to get on that. So, catch us tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Appreciate y'all. Hopefully you don't get too fucked up tonight so you can get more fucked up tomorrow night with us. Always keeping that one foot on the ground and one in the fire, and motherfucking middle finger to the asshole or oppressor in your life, and tell them, go fuck yourself while you're staying heavy.